Good evening. 2 games on the way, along with October's goal of the month with a formidable front two of Dion, Dublin and Glenn Murray. We start with Liverpool's trip to Luton, who are 10 games into their first top-flight season in 31 years.
Luton Town back in the top flight of English football.
We're 10 games in, we're just enjoying the ride.
Harsh lessons to learn.
Luton's big night out ends in disappointment.
4 straight defeats in the Premier League. We needed a result soon.
Carlton Morris, can he get them back on level terms?
Getting a point was incredible. Every fan left thinking, we could have got a little bit more out of that.
Everton was where there was a chance that we would get our first 3 points.
It's the first time the newly promoted side have taken the lead in a Premier League match this season.
There was euphoria at the full-time whistle.
It was just elation.
It was like winning a cup final.
I was there with my friends and we were weeping.
Games like Forest, we have to take points out of those if we're going to be competitive.
What gets there?
To somehow scrap our way back from 2-0 down was huge.
We didn't roll over and accept the result.
Surely they're 4 points away from home.
There's quite a few teams who seem to think we're going to be an easy 3 points.
Our sheer quality is not at the level of some of these clubs, but that is not the only way to win football games.
It's always going to be hostile.
The players will feel intimidated by the crowd.
Let's get after them.
What I have to say to Liverpool is bring it on.
Your commentator is Guy Mowbray.
Liverpool's first visit here for almost 16 years, their first for a league game in over 32, and that most recent yet still ancient history of coming to Kenilworth Road hasn't been too kind. No league win for the Reds the last 4 times they've been here. The Luton team looking to bring it on shows one interesting change from last week's loss at Aston Villa as Andros Townsend comes in for his first Hatters start and home debut. The 32-year-old replaces Jacob Brown in Rob Edwards' selection. And in Premier League terms, there's just one difference to Liverpool's side too. Also an interesting one as Joe Gomez comes in and Kostas Tsimikas moves out to the subs bench where he'll be alongside Luis Diaz. He could make his first appearance since having to deal with the news that his parents had been kidnapped in Colombia. A chance to break down the left. It's exactly what they're doing with Doughty. Full time at Kenilworth Road. Luton Town 1, Liverpool 1.
Well, a very difficult time at the moment for Liverpool's goalscorer, Luis Diaz. That is what he posted after the game. He also released a statement after the game begging his father's kidnappers to free him immediately and end this painful wait. The statement went on to say, "My mother, my brothers and I are desperate, anxious and have no words to describe what we are feeling. This suffering will only end when we have him home with us." So that was the statement that Luis Diaz issued after scoring the equaliser. As far as the game itself is concerned, let's move on to the game. Jurgen Klopp said he thought it was a fair result.
Not too sure. I thought Luton were absolutely outstanding, I really do. And yet Liverpool had a lot of chances, but I thought Luton was set up well, they reorganised, they did everything in this game absolutely to the letter.
Keep it tight and you will hope you will get a chance.
Yeah, stay in the game. Yeah, that is basically it. And sometimes you need to understand that the opposition are better individually and probably collectively. So you need to ride your luck at times, stay in the game, and then when those chances arise, commit to it.
They had the game's best player, didn't they, in Ross Barkley, who just pulled all the strings for them today.
Yeah, just an old head, senior pro, very experienced. And I think as well, you mentioned about the way they were set up, but I mean, look at his stats. Everything was first.
Is that a role now for him at this stage of his career, with his experience, with his vision, with his ability on the ball, and actually with the work rate that we saw today? Is that his role now as that sort of central defensive midfielder? Right, Forest Villa on the way. First, though, time to pick October's goal of the month. You can vote using the QR code on the screen or go to the BBC Sport website and app. We'll close the vote at 11:15 and give you the results at the end of the show. The privacy notice is on the website. To the City Ground next for Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. Commentary from Steve Bauer.
Forest trying to find form, Villa just looking to maintain the feel-good factor of 7 wins from their opening 10 games for the first time in 70 years. Steve Cooper makes 3 changes, including a big call in goal as Matt Turner is dropped to the bench, so there's a debut for Greece international Vlachodimos. O&E is fit enough to start, Toffolo is recalled in defence, Gibbs White captains the team for the first time on his 50th appearance for the club. Not surprisingly, Villa are unchanged. Unai Emery has made just 7 changes all season. Ollie Watkins now has 18 Premier League goals under Emery and 5 in his last 5 games. Captain John McGinn makes his 200th appearance for the club. So in the Midlands, East meets West. Forest have beaten Villa just once in the last 15 meetings. And for just the 3rd time this season, it is a win for Nottingham Forest, and it feels like a significant one. Just the 3rd team this season to beat Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest are back to winning ways. They've beaten Villa by 2-0.
Yeah, they were really good today, were Forest, and for the 2nd time today, we've seen a really good opening goal.
Yeah, we did, and it's not necessarily something you associate with Forest. Is slick passing through the thirds, but that's exactly what this first goal was.
Right. So far out, it's 22 yards out. It's hard to finish that low and keep it low. I've never done it. It's on the bar all the time.
But have you run onto it, leathered it?
Many times.
Yeah,
many
okay.
times.
As well as scoring the good goals, they defended really well today, didn't they? They shut off the passing lanes to Villa. They stifled them.
Yes, they did. And this is going to be a problem they get now, Villa, isn't it? They're flying high, they're getting respected, and all of a sudden teams are sitting against them. Now they've got to break them down.
People know how they're playing.
They didn't move the ball fast enough today, did they?
Once people know how you're playing, then that shows how good you are.
Right, let's get into the first part of yesterday's roundup. We'll start at Bramall Lane. Well, that's what he said yesterday. Arsenal have actually released a statement today supporting Mikel Arteta, questioning the standard of officiating and focus and they want PGMOL to focus on action which moves on from retrospective analysis, attempted explanations and apologies. I mean, the first thing to say, Dion, is I'm surprised Wolves haven't released a statement as well, given the decisions they've been on the wrong end of over the last this season. But we're in a right mess here, aren't we? Right. Best of the action from the WSL is coming next on BBC One in the Women's Football Show. Highlights of the FA Cup first round will be on BBC Two at 11:30. After his Ballon d'Or win this week, the Lionel Messi documentary is available to watch on the iPlayer. And if you missed the start of the show, you can watch it on the iPlayer all week. The result of Goal of the Month and Too Good, Too Bad on the way. First, the rest of yesterday's goals. Here's the table. Aston Villa's defeat means they miss the chance to go 3rd. They remain 5th. Liverpool's draw moves them above Arsenal, but it's not enough to overtake Tottenham. Luton's point lifts them out of the bottom 3 on goal difference. Forest are up to 12th, 7 points clear of the relegation zone. Right, here are the results of October's Goal of the Month. And in 3rd place with 17% of the vote is Billing. Son is in 2nd with 18%. And the winner of October's Goal of the Month, Eddie Nketiah, with 20%. And before we go, just time for Too Good, Too Bad. Maybe we should put the child behind the VAR monitor at Fulham in charge of VAR. Just think about it. Use common sense. Yeah? If Hwang meant this, that is the assist of the season. I'm not sure he did. Here are some of the misses over the last 48 hours. Mikel Antonio and Ben Rama for West Ham. Aren't you taught? Just put your name.
Talk.
Shout your name.
Communication.
They blame each other. Then we've got Darwin Núñez at Kenilworth Road and Mo Salah, I suppose. And if you're a big centre-half and do this, VAR shouldn't really rule it out.
Wow.
That's the best goal spoiled by VAR.
I would have never heard the last of that, so I'm quite happy.
Poor Lewis Dunk. Right, thanks very much to Dion and Glenn. The Jeremy Doku show at the Etihad yesterday was just the 10th time someone has registered 5 goal involvements in a single Premier League game in the last decade. Bye-bye.
Suarez, oh, good effort! That is absolutely stunning.
Here he comes again! Aguero's got his 5th goal! Oh, he scored again! Harry Kane has got 4 goals! It's a treble for Mohamed Salah.
Kane looking for Son again. Son Heung-min for the 4th time this afternoon. He's teed up by Harry Kane.
It's Grealish for Villa, and it's a magnificent 7.
Benjamin back to Jesus, brilliant! And he has scored. Firmino might get it, and he has! This is incredible. Haaland! There is no way to stop him, it seems.
Doku, it's out of reach. Doku has been involved in everything in terms of goals for City.